Hello and welcome to today's webinar on Dialogues with Leaders, curated by Suitswell Solutions. On the occasion of birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, Suitswell invites three most distinguished guests to speak on the topic Peace Beyond Borders. My name is Kirti Narayan and I'll be the moderator for this session. Suitswell Solutions is a startup from Bengaluru and is a journey to transform people into true human. It taps into a mind, body, and soul to make people happier, healthier, and wiser. To make the life become more beautiful and easier, we take help of expert mentors who become your true friends during the transformation. Put people and planet first. Learn, evolve, inspire, and grow. Without any delay, I'd like to introduce our special guests for this webinar. Our special guest is His Excellency Ranil Wickramasinghe. He was the first elected member parliament of Biagama in 1977 and had served as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka on 3 occasions. He is the leader of the United National Party, Sri Lanka's largest political party in the Sri Lankan parliament. He is currently Sri Lanka's senior-most and longest-serving statesman who has continuously served the country as a member of parliament since 1977. Born in 1949, after Sri Lanka gained independence from British, Honorable Ranil Wickramasinghe is truly a leader of the new independent era. A lawyer by profession, he was elected to parliament in 1977 at the age of 28, have worked in the Youth League of UNP from his university days. As the youngest minister in Sri Lanka at that time, he held the post of Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs under President Jayawardene. A guest speaker, Sri Suresh Prabhuji. Sri Suresh Prabhu, Member of the Parliament for Rajya Sabha, Prime Minister SEPA for G7 and G20. Sri Suresh Prabhu was formerly the Minister of Commerce and Industry and Civil Aviation in Sri Narendra Modi's first government. He has held several government and semi-government positions, which includes the chairmanship of Maharashtra State Finance Commission, Saraswat Cooperative Bank, member of the Maharashtra State Tourism Board, among others. He is the part of 16 global organizations and 9 strategic dialogues. Held many other portfolios like Industry Minister, Minister of Environment and Forests, Minister of Fertilizer and Chemicals, Power, Heavy Industry and Public Enterprises. As a Civil Aviation Minister, drove the implementation of the Regional Connectivity Scheme or UDAN. Mr. Suresh Prabhu was awarded the Indian of the Year in 2017. Declared Best Member of the Parliament in 13th Lok Sabha in 2004, ranked as the second best performing minister in India Today's report on the performance of the key ministers of the Government of India. Our guest, Sri Anil Shetty, an Indian social leader, time investor, entrepreneur, author, activist, and a motivational speaker based out of Bangalore. He is an independent investment banker who helps startup businesses raise early stage capital. He recently resigned from Board of Bangalore Political Action Committee, BPAC, where he was the youngest along with the Biocon chairperson, Kiran Majumdar Shaw, and former Infosys director, Mohandas Pai. Anil Shetty was invited by United States Department of State to be the part of International Visitors Leadership Program to represent India. In 2018, he was invited by the Israel Foreign Affairs Ministry to become the part of the Indian leaders delegation to visit Israel. I welcome all the speakers for this forum. Thank you so much. I request Sri Suresh Prabhu to address the forum now. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you very much. And I really honored by the fact that none other than His Excellency Ranil Wickramasinghe is also in the program, whom I have known for a long time and great respect and regard for him. And again, very recently, when he was a Prime Minister, we had a very good program in Sri Lanka on the business. And recently, of course, we shared a similar common screen, no longer a platform. So we shared a common screen to discuss some of these issues related to this. Also, I'm happy that Mr. Shetty is also there. And I am very pleased by the fact that our friend who has been doing remarkable work in making this series of programs. So I really congratulate the organizer for doing this. This is a very interesting title for the program. Peace Beyond Borders. That's what the title. So So you're talking about peace and beyond borders, right? And that too on a very important day on any world calendar, Mahatma Gandhi Jayanti, that he was born. It's very difficult to say when Mahatma Gandhi was born. You know, when Mohan Karamchand Gandhi was born. And where he was born, we know. He was born in Porbandar. But where was Mahatma born? The transformation of Mohanlal Karamchand Gandhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, into a young barrister. From there to a dejected person when you were thrown out of the train, spending the whole cold night on the platform in South Africa. And then coming to India, traveling all over the country, becoming face of India's freedom struggle, become a symbol of resistance to powerful British Empire, and that too without holding any weapon in his hand. So during that long journey, on train, throwing out of train, coming back to India, traveling in India on train, I'm happy as a former railway minister that he used railway so much. But somewhere down the line, he became Mahatma. But what was a great thing? He was called Mahatma by none other than great Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. But that journey of being a Mahatma depicts his personality to great extent, but not fully. In India, in our ancient thought, we believe that every human being is a part of Paramatma, the divine, the God. And only few of us can achieve and attain that level of converting our Atma, which is part of our inner soul, to Mahatma. There are some great souls who could achieve even higher plane spiritually, like Gautam Buddha. From being a small boy born as Siddharth, he could become Buddha. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi could become Mahatma. So that journey from being born like you and me, but transforming ourselves into our own life is something which shows what one could achieve if one tries to do that with a mission, with a purpose. More importantly, look more inward than outward. Do your outward acts in such a way that your inner thinking guides you. And that's what converts people from being ordinary humans to extraordinary ones. And only few can become Mahatma or Gautam Buddha. In our case, the title of this program, Peace Beyond Borders, is very apt description and probably something which Gandhiji can guide us by his own action, by his own thoughts, by his own life, as to how do you achieve that? How do you get peace to begin with? And then that brings us to a very important question. What is peace? Is it absence of violence is peace? Or is it something more than that? Just imagine if there is a huge cyclone. In fact, Sri Lanka, India, and many other countries, we faced tsunami. So when tsunami came, good part of Sri Lanka was destroyed. In fact, Sri Lanka is a shining example of how to rise from phoenix, from ashes, literally. And His Excellency Ranil Wickremesinghe has been guiding on that in good part of his life. But when the cyclone goes, when the tsunami goes, when the cyclone is coming, you feel huge sound, fury of nature, and suddenly everything becomes silent. There's nothing to be heard anymore. Even screams of people have died because they're no longer living. Can you call it peace? Absence of violence when there is a huge riot. And when the riot, there is all hue and cry. People are raising their voice, killing each other. And then suddenly everything stops. Can you call it peace? Is the peace something far more amplified and far more important than just absence of violence, absence of such type of fury? Can it be peace or something more? Actually, Gandhiji, in his whole life, explored it. And he clearly was experimenting with his own life and his own autobiography, as he calls it, Experience with Truth. Because as he himself realized that there is nothing like, there is something like absolute truth, but till we reach there is a relative truth. So the journey from relative truth to absolute truth will be done through experimentation. And that experimentation, the journey, will teach us how to achieve peace. The peace may be what you call ultimately as ultimate truth. If you realize ultimate truth, then you are at peace with yourself. And if all of us can achieve that peace, there will be peace for everybody. And that's peace beyond borders. And what is the border? The borders that we always lay down around us. First, I will say, I am the only one who should I be concerned with. That's the border I am laying before me.